Let's get ready to rumble.
Yes, we're back. Episode 74 of the Hibs Ramble. Happy New Year to all. Hope you have had a lovely festive period. For those on the YouTube channel watching us at the moment, you will see that it is not your usual foursome this evening. It is a huge, huge improvement. Joined tonight with myself is Craig. Craig, how you doing?
Good, mate.
Good to have you. Good to have you. We're joined by what Craig has labelled him as the dinner lady. So instead of actually introducing him, first of all, I'm just going to let him ask us his favourite question.
What did you boys have for dinner?
We're joined by John McIntosh. John, how you doing, son? You all right?
I'm not bad. Just doing away.
Good. And we're also joined by John Tolmie. How you doing, son? You good?
I'm not bad at all.
Good. Festive period, all right for you both?
Brilliant.
Good. Shite end to the year, but we get there in the end. They're typical Hibs.
Typical Hibs.
As you all have seen, listeners-wise, from the title of today's episode, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to do a 2023 Hibs end-of-year quiz/review. We're going to jump into that soon, but it would unfortunately be rude for us not to at least touch on the poor end to the calendar year that we've had. We have not spoke as a podcast post Derby defeat. So, John McIntosh, I want to get your thoughts on the game as an overall. We're not going to get into the ins and outs of it all. It's obviously a shit way to end any game, especially against them. But how did you feel going into the game? Were you confident? And how did you see at least the first half unfolding, considering the two missed penalties and stuff like that?
I really thought that we were gonna. Before the game, I thought we were gonna win it. I really thought we were gonna score 2 or 3 against them. But after the first half, after we missed the penalty, especially, I thought we were gonna lose it late on. But the longer the game went on, like the more you're thinking, like maybe we can nick it. Like I think you think more about us nicking it than them. But yeah, heartbreak at the end, obviously. What can you do though?
That must be an age thing, Craig, because I tell you what, I was thinking the complete opposite. The further the game went on, I was thinking it's them that are going to nick it.
Seen it a million times before, haven't we, mate?
Yeah. John, what about you? How did you feel like? In fact, first of all, our penalty. There was a lot of talk about whether the Hearts player should have been sent off or not. What was your take on that? Do you feel like he should have?
Well, when I saw it in real time, I was sitting next to my family, my brother. I said to him, I was like, "That's a straight red. The ball's gone at least basically in the net. Keeper might save it, but the ball's gone in the net. He's put his arm up. It's a red card to me. I think it's a straight red. But since he's booked him, I don't think you can really argue too bad about it, because at the end of the day, we should have scored it.
Yeah,
you don't score
great save from him. Yeah,
it's like at the end of the day, if it's not a red, even though it wasn't a red, you still have to score it and put that to bed.
And how did you see the second half unfold? And for me, anyway, it felt like it was kind of more our dominance, and Hearts were able to not necessarily pin Hearts in, but it just felt like there was a lot of pressure from us in the second half. And like John said earlier on, it just felt like there was a bit of pressure, and it could have potentially only been a matter of time till we nick it. Did you see it going the same way, or like me and Craig just alluded to, it just kind of felt like they would probably go to the other end and nick it?
I think, anytime Hibs and Hearts play, it's the longer you leave it 0-0 or 1-0 or whatever, the more chance Hearts are definitely going to run up and score in the later minutes and steal a point or all 3 points or whatever. And you see it every time. They do it to us historically, to be honest, and we bring it on ourselves, not putting chances away, not shutting balls down quick enough, being able to defend properly half the time. It's just disappointing.
Yeah, no, you're right, Craig. I'll just because I don't want to dwell on what was another Derby defeat, but what I'm quite keen to hear from you is kind of more the talking points within the game. So like there was a lot of flack for Lewis Miller post-match. Rocky's defending. Obviously, Shankland takes the finish really, really well. And you've then got the 2 penalty incidents in the first half as well. How did you see the key moments of the game, or the key individual performances on both sides?
I mean, I think everybody could see that Miller was poor. And as I actually seen something on Twitter about, somebody criticised him and he was like, "Oh, you're not allowed to criticise him because he had an interview with a podcast." Like, I don't know how it works. Like, Miller for me was poor, probably his poorest game since he's been at the club. In terms of the other stuff, I mean, the penalties, the Shankland ones are a let off because obviously Marshall's went the complete wrong way and Shankland's just mishit it. Our one obviously is frustrating because the keeper saves it. But other than that, I mean, I've seen folk arguing as well about Rocky that, Rocky was superb for 8 to 9 minutes, but it's that one thing. But it's like that's the most important thing. Like, he got ragdolled by Shankland to the point where he's like almost done like a scrunch jump and he's still somehow jumped underneath the ball. And then Will Fish has just stood off and obviously thought, probably naively, oh, he's on his weak foot. And like, I came folk have got opinions on Shankland as a striker and is he really that good without his penalties and that, but that finish was top class. As hard as it is to say. And it's just symbolic of us within Derby, so I don't even think it's necessarily the moments, it's just, I said it somewhere, I can't remember if I said it in a group chat on Twitter, but it's like, so we've changed players, we've changed manager, we've changed owner, the stadium's changed, the training ground's changed, everything materialistic, tangible, non-tangible about the club has changed, and we're still falling to defeats like that. I didn't understand it because it's like, no, as if Hearts have remained the same for the past however long in our lifetime. Like, my record and our record in my lifetime is absolutely shambolic. Like, it's a joke. But in terms of key instances, I seen folks saying they thought it was a good game. I actually thought it was quite a shite game.
Yeah, I thought the same. I thought the exact same.
It was weird looking at the stats territorially and seeing that we probably slightly edged having more of the ball. But again, as we've spoken about before, Shaun, we're now getting to the point where we've got more of the ball, but longer into Montgomery's tenure, we're becoming less attacking as the weeks are going on.
Yeah, and more easier to read as well, and that takes us, it fits us perfectly into briefly talking about the Motherwell game as well, because what you've just ended on saying there is what a lot of the post outcry from the support has been. John Mack, quick question on that, on the Motherwell game. First half, I felt anyway that we dominated it and done really, really well. We pinned Motherwell in. Could have been 2 or 3 goals in front, and it felt like that was, especially in recent weeks, probably since maybe the Dundee game at home, which was so many weeks ago, that was probably our best performance under Montgomery. Would you agree? How did you assess the first half against Motherwell?
It was definitely our best performance this year. I think, not calendar year, this season. But that's the thing, though. There's been a few times I've said that this year and last year where we've said, "Oh, it's a brilliant performance," and we went in with a draw or behind, and it's like, it's just a bit. I'd rather we say it quite a lot. I'd rather play shite and be 1-0 up or 2-0 up. You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit boring when you play all right or quite well and then you don't take the lead, you don't put chances away, and it just seems like that's a current theme every week. Especially under Montgomery, I think we play quite good football, but just don't put chances away, and that's where we're dropping points.
Yeah, completely agree. John, do you kind of echo that as well? And just because he's mentioned about like the way that we're playing and how Montgomery's setting up, not only do you agree with what John's just saying there, but how do you see us moving forward in regards to Nick Montgomery, because there's been a lot of outcry about his shape, his philosophy, how slow we are playing out for the back. How do you kind of take it all on as a supporter on the sidelines? Obviously, you were nodding your head sitting there. You would rather us pretty much be scummy and winning 1-0. But it has, the longer it seems to we seem to be going on under Nick Montgomery's reign, the easier we seem to be to get beat, if that makes sense. So like the way that we're playing and we're easier to read. Do you see it the same way?
I'm still sort of on the fence of. I mean, when we were looking for a new manager, the shows were like Derek McInnes and whatnot. I personally, as much as I would love to see it, I think it gets old really quickly, and you start going like, we're doing all right, but we want more to like scream about. I think it's still too early to comment on Montgomery. He's not had any of his own players in. He's had to work with a very, very thin squad, as you can see by the bench against Motherwell. And some wee injuries. I think it is far too early to tell if he's going to do it. I mean, he came in when did he come in? October, September?
Yeah.
Quite early in. It's only January now. I think this January transfer window and the summer, bringing players that fits his 4-4-2 system and that he knows would work, and then the jury's out on him depending on how he is. I think the first half against Motherwell was some of the best I've seen us play. I think Jair was brilliant, getting past his defender constantly. And I mean, there's all the cry of Dylan Vente shouldn't be dropping deep and stuff like that, but I think he should be there for at least one of the Jair ones to tap it in. He's apparently a 6-yard box striker. He should be in the 6-yard box for the chances and tapping them in. Because the first one in the first half, I think it was about 5 minutes in, if that. It's a brilliant ball across and no one's there.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I
you're
do
right.
think
You're right.
I do think there's an element of naivety to Montgomery though, in terms I get the whole he's not got his own players and all that, right? But he's also not helped himself by persisting with Boyle up front for the last however many weeks. Yuan being benched for however many weeks, trying to play with Newland, Levitt for however many weeks. Like the instruction to get Vente to drop deep, and then like John was saying there, the balls that are flashed across the box. I think the guy that does the Hibs Observer's done like a wee
Yeah,
thing
I've
on
seen
it
the
on
exact
Twitter.
same thread. Yeah.
And it's Vente gets the ball and knocks it on the halfway line, but he's not got the engine to get up and get in the box to finish the chances off. Like more often than not, he's not even in the box. So while I do think that there needs to be no caution given with Montgomery, but he needs to be given the chance to get players in, I do think instances like Saturday, it almost seems like he's going to be very stubborn about the way he does things, like this persistence with Whittaker. I think at the moment is only going to do the laddie more harm than good.
Yeah.
Because he's physically not ready to play week in, week out at this level. Like that's not slight on the boy's ability at all. For me, that game was, given how he's been playing, 1st of January, Megwa should have been back and Megwa should have been in the starting 11 because he's been playing, albeit for Ayr during the Championship, but he's been getting absolutely rave reviews. So I do think there is a bit of naivety about the way that we're setting up. I know Montgomery's never going to change his philosophy, and that's a good thing. The most successful managers, I think, are the ones that have got their principles and they stick to it no matter what. But I do think he's not helped himself with the decision making at times, especially with Sunday. What day was it? Tuesday, Monday, whatever it was. We're having to eventually put Stevenson on it right back.
Yeah, you've kind of touched on it, Craig. I was going to come to you to try and get a little bit of analysis about what Montgomery needs to do and what he maybe needs to tweak. You've obviously touched on that just now, and we spoke about it, the whole like Boyle up front as well, and the persistence of that. And we obviously have great frustrations with the whole Vente aspect of it. What else do you think? I mean, philosophy and everything like that is all good and well, and your principles, which I firmly believe you need to stick to, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to stick to a rigid 4-4-2. You can still have the same philosophy and the same principles, but in a different shape, in and out of possession. What else do you think Nick Montgomery needs to get right to either get more out of this squad? Because we've heard that the funds might, even with the Melkerson money, be limited in January with whatever's going on with the investment or lack of investment. What else do you think Nick needs to do to try and get more out of the current crop that we've got?
I don't think he can, if I'm being honest. I do think that there's a lot of this team have reached their ceiling. Like the game against Motherwell, prime example for Ellie's first goal. It comes for Joe Newell picking the ball up and driving at the defence. It's the only time he done it in the game. Yeah, the only time he does it, we're successful. Like instances like that with him. Like I know Joe Newell's got a massive fan base within the support, and I do like him, but instances like he done on Sunday, or I keep saying Sunday, against Motherwell are just few and far between.
Yeah.
And what I don't think we need is another untried, untested, inexperienced centre half coming in, because that's apparently what we've got coming in for Leeds. Like that's been the shout, and that's, for one, that tells me that Harbottle's absolutely stinking. There's a rumour going about that after the game against Motherwell, he was pictured at Waverley with 3 suitcases.
I mean, I could have told you that after his Blackpool performance, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we seen him on Blackpool and we thought he was gashed in there as well. But
Mego was the best house player in the park, and he's a 5 foot whatever.
Yeah,
he was playing centre half and dominating the air. Like, do you know what I mean?
We need an absolute bruiser at centre half. Like that is what we need. We're trying to go up against strike forces like Shankland, Miofsky, even teams like St Mirren and that have got big physical, experienced forwards. With a 24-year-old that's played about 60 career games in Rocky, and Will Fish, who's in his second full season of professional football. You could argue, like January till last year till now, that's his first full year, because obviously he never played between August and January's first season. So for me, that's the glaring thing as a centre half. Like that's almost non-negotiable, and also maybe a bit of freedom for Obita, because it seems as if Obita's very, very reluctant to go too far forward because of maybe a lack of support in that he gets coming back for Jair. So whether that's instructed by Montgomery, because I think he's attacking wise, fullback wise, like he's a better attacking fullback than Lewis Miller is on the opposite side.
Yeah,
and you could argue Chris Cadden when he comes back as well. So just to give Obita a bit more license, because when he does get down the left flank, as we've seen in the past, he's pretty dangerous.
Yeah. What we'll do, boys, is we'll wrap up kind of the review on those 2 games. Now we'll get into the nitty gritty of what we wanted to do this evening. Speaking to the boys off air about this, speaking to the boys in the group chat as well, we'd prepped a 2023 year review for Hibs, and we've done it in the format of like a quiz. Probably wouldn't have done it if we'd actually got decent results against the Hearts and Motherwell, but try and make the episode a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more interactive. So for those listening, hopefully you are shouting and screaming at your TV, your phone, your whatever it is that you are watching or listening to this on it when some of the boys are not answering these correctly. Let us know, reply, DM us, whatever you want, get involved, let us know how you got on. So how this is going to work, boys, we've got a question for each month relating to said month throughout the calendar year of 2023. Most important rule of all is respect the quizmaster. That is the only rule that I really have in this one. Bonus points available as well. I'll try and make the questions as crystal clear as possible, and I will repeat them twice as well. If you need them a third time, let me know. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 months at a time. I'll keep score, and I will go to each of you individually for your answers, and then I'll tell you whether that is the correct answer or not. So you don't need to worry about keeping score or anything like that. As long as you've got something to keep note of what your answers are, that would be greatly appreciated. Any questions before we get stuck into it?
No.
Fantastic, boys. Anyone confident? Nervous?
Absolutely not.
Historically, I would be, but because it's about the last year.
Yeah.
Nah.
If you haven't already checked out the Derby special, I know you maybe not want to watch it now after us getting beat, but For those that haven't yet listened or watched that, we've done a lot of fun games and quizzes relating to previous Edinburgh derbies, and Craig seemed to smoke the majority of people on it. So go watch that back, listen to that. We'd never really spoke about the upcoming derby too much on it. It was more about previous derbies, so that's a good laugh as well. Right, boys, we'll get stuck right into it. Well, like I said, we'll do 3 months at a time, so January, February, March, and then I'll go back and get your answers for January, then your answers for February, then your answers for March, and we'll see where you are at. And then we'll do the same month on month, right? So the first question is for January. So in a month where we had 6 games, which included 2 derby defeats, 2 draws versus Dundee United and Ross County, and 2 wins versus Motherwell and Aberdeen, Lee Johnson put Goodwin to the sword and made the chairman of Aberdeen cry as well on national radio, TV. Can't remember if it was both. What I want from you boys, and you get a point for each correct scorer, is I want you to name or write down the 6 or who scored the 6 goals in our 6-0 victory against Aberdeen. So I'll shorten that for you. We beat Aberdeen 6-0 at home towards the end of January. Who scored the 6 goals? Try to make the January question as upbeat as possible, but January was not a great month for us, unfortunately. 2 derby defeats in there. I'm just obviously going to just giving you time to answer here.
I can't answer. There's only one that I can't remember.
Me too.
You can hazard, I guess, as well. It's all good.
Oh, I think I remember it.
Yeah, so obviously we had just while the boys are writing down their answers to that, we obviously kicked off the year on my birthday while I was in London, which was great. 3-0 derby defeat. Then had a 3-2 victory away to Motherwell. Kevin Nisbet's hat-trick, I believe, was that game. Yep. And then we had our 2-2 against Dundee United, 6-0 against Aberdeen as well. And then the end in the month on the 1-0.
The Dundee United game, was that when Nisbet scored last minute?
It was, yeah. And it was torrential rain. Right, have we all got some kind of an answer? We're happy in that. We'll move on to February.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Okay, so in February, Lewis Stevenson became the all-time record holder for Hibs league appearances after he played the full 90 minutes in a 1-0 away victory at St Mirren. 2 questions here, so there's a bonus point available. What was the landmark amount of appearances? So what was the landmark that he broke? So I want to know what Lewis became after that performance, what his league appearance was after that. And for a bonus point, which former Hibs player did he overtake? So who held that record before Lewis? So I'll repeat the question again. Played St Mirren in February. Lewis Stevenson played 90 minutes. Lewis Stevenson then becomes the all-time league Hibs appearance maker with how many appearances?
Was
Bonus
that
point.
the
Who did he overtake?
What game was that? Was that when Hoppy made his debut after McCurdy got injured?
That's when Ellie Ewan done
totally
a celebration, and then the lassies in the background taking a selfie with him. Yeah.
Are we getting a grace number for like the appearances?
If none of yous are right for questions like that, if none of yous are right, we'll go with whoever's the closest. But if you want the bonus point, you can always hazard a guess as well for the person. There aren't many questions throughout this quiz where it's multiple choice. I think there is 1, maybe 2. So
I'm stuck between 2 numbers.
Right, we'll move on to March. So if you haven't already, write down a figure and write down a player that he overtook. In March, Josh Campbell gave us the lead at Celtic Park from the penalty spot in a game which we went on to lose 3-1. This is a two-pointer as well, so there is a bonus point available. First part, who got sent off for us? Second question for the bonus point, can you name me the minute he was sent off? And I just want to caveat this with any questions in this quiz that are relating to minutes or attendances or times or anything like that, yellow cards, scorers, they're all taken off like historical data based on like live score and stuff like that. So just to repeat the question, Josh Campbell scored to give us the lead at Celtic Park in a game we went on to lose 3-1. We got a man sent off in that game. Who was it and what minute for a bonus point? Right, we'll go back and review January's. Okay, so Craig, I would like you to tell me, and I'll get all three of your answers for this question, then I'll tell you what the right ones were. Craig, can you tell me who we enjoyed watching scoring 6 goals at Easter Road when we were begging for Ethan Laidlaw to get on and he didn't get on when we were sitting in the famous 5-upper? Who scored the 6 goals for Hibs that day?
Campbell Hattie, Kevin Nisbet, Will Fish, and Ellie Ewan.
Both Johns, you both get that, or is there anything different?
That's exactly what I
I
thought.
struggled with remembering Ellie Ewan, but
That was mine. That was the one I couldn't get as well. I was trying to
Yeah.
think who scored between, because obviously Josh scored the first 2, and then
Ewan was the header, wasn't it?
Yeah,
because
I
amended
remember it was on the sleep celebration, and I remember the commentary as well after hearing it.
because Campbell's penalty, Nisbet, and Fish's goal were all in the famous 5 end.
Cool. So, just to let you know, just to confirm the right answer, Josh Campbell hat-trick, Ellie Ewan, Kevin Nisbet, Will Fish. So 6 points for all these because she's got all 6 goal scorers correct. February, John Mack, Lewis Stevenson became the all-time league record appearance maker with how many appearances? What was the record-breaking number? You got a photo in the changing room with Lee Johnson with the shirt. What was on that shirt?
I'm between 2 numbers. Is it 550?
What's your other number?
500, but I'll go with 550.
Okay. John told me what you got.
I'm the exact same. I'm 550. I was toying between 550 and 500 because I couldn't remember. I can remember the picture, but I can't remember if it was a 5 or a 0.
That's all I remember.
Big.
I just changed it to 573, but in my mind before it was 544.
Okay, so the shirt that he held up had a number of 450.
Oh, 450.
League appearances, remember. League
cool.
appearances. It was a record league appearances.
I know
So
the name though.
both Johns, yous were closest with 500, so I'll give you both the point. I'll give you both a point for that. I'm going to assume that both of you did not get the name of the player that he overtook.
I put Riley, but I don't think that's right.
Nah. John, you want to hazard a guess as well?
I'd literally not have a clue.
Nah,
Couldn't tell you.
Craig, hit us with the right
Duncan.
answer. Yep, correct. Arthur Duncan, so I'll give you a point for that as well. So we're still all tied after February's question. Right, last one for this round, and then we'll move into April, May and June. Josh Campbell gave us the lead at Celtic Park 3-1. John told me who got sent off.
Was it Ellie Ewan?
John Mack, was it Ellie Ewan?
Was it Ellie Ewan?
Craig, was it Ellie Ewan? That's correct. So at the moment, 1 point for each. Okay. Craig, do you know which minute he received the red card, or the red card was shown to him?
I put 22nd.
Okay. John Mack?
I've got 17th.
John Tommy?
I put 25th, but I'm between 25th and 28th.
Pick one.
28th.
If you'd picked 25, you would have got the bonus point. It was the 24th. It was the 24th minute, so Craig gets the bonus point.
Lovely.
I thought you would have got a hint with my smile when you said 25, and then I said pick which one. Right, boys, we'll move into April now. So do April, May, June, and that'll obviously bring us to a close of what was the 22-23 season, and will bring us into this season's questions. In April, we secured our only derby victory of 2023. How fucking terrible is that? We played 6 games, lost 3, drew 2, and won 1. Kevin Nisbet's 67th minute strike gave us the win. It's a 2-pointer as well, so there's a bonus point available. Who took the corner that crossed it in? And the bonus point, who headed it back across goal? So I need 2 players' names. I want to know who crossed the ball in for the corner. For those of you that can't remember, it was a corner. And who headed it back across for the back post.
Confident with the header, but the corners...
The corners threw me off.
The corner's dodgy.
What I will say is, right, I know, and I just, because I don't know if either of you will be thinking this, the corner was 1,000,000% an in-swinger.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Joe, like, it couldn't have been Joe Newell that took it.
Because it was on the left-hand side if you're facing the goals.
It's like the West Stand side of the famous 5 end.
I've got an answer, but I don't even know if he played this game, to be honest with you.
I think I'm thinking the same
Right.
person.
So we've both got two names down though, yeah? Got the corner
Yeah.
taker and got the assist. Or
Yeah.
To be fair, there are two answers that I would accept for who headed it back across goal, one of them being a comedic answer. So yeah, I'll see if any of you maybe pick up on that with your answer. There is a correct answer, but there's also a funny answer that I would accept. In the month of May, we scored 8 goals as we were pushing for European football. We beat St Mirren 2-1. We beat Celtic 4-2. We drew with Hearts 1-1 and also drew with Aberdeen. Our only loss that month was against Rangers at home and it was 3-1. What I want to know is who scored the most goals for us in those games. I don't need to know how many they scored, but I want to know which player scored the most goals for us in the month of May.
What was the game? So St Mirren 2-1.
So we beat St Mirren 2-1. We beat Celtic 4-2. We drew 1-1 and 0-0 with Hearts and Aberdeen, and we got beat by Rangers 3-1.
That Aberdeen game, we fucking battered them up there as well, eh?
Missed the penalty.
Aye.
I'm going to put two answers, but I'm going to choose between them because
That's fine.
one's
You can pick at the time. You can write two names down, but I'll only be accepting one. So, right, we'll move into the month of June, and that will close off the 22-23 season, and then we'll review April, May's, and June's questions. So, at the end of February, we were obviously saddened to hear about the passing of Ron Gordon. In June, the club held its first ever inaugural 24-hour football match in his memory. This was a number of charity events that the club done to raise money on behalf of the Gordon family for the local community. How much to the closest 1,000, as reported on the club's website in an article at the end of June, did the club raise?
Don't have a clue.
Either of the Johns, did you play in the match?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I went
Johnny, I
3
thought
into
I remember
16.
you playing. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think I remember talking to you about it. I think I played I played midnight to 2.
Yeah.
And then you were in at 3.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
played. I think I played 2 till 6 or something like that. We were meant to do 2 till 4, but they just let us stay on. So.
My first match was a 7-a-side match, and then we went to 11 because we didn't have enough bodies. Right, so just to repeat this question, how much to the closest 1,000, as reported on the club site at the end of June, did they raise? And that's not just from the match, it's all the fundraising events that they've done as part of the whole community event for the passing of Ron. Okay, right, we'll go back to April's question. John told me, who crossed the ball in?
I put GDH, Jake Dollhays.
Okay, and who did you put for headering it back across?
I feel like it was Hanlon.
Okay, John Mack, what you got?
I put Cadden to take the corner, but now I'm thinking about it, I don't think. So I put Cadden and I put Hanlon to head it back.
Okay, Craig?
I put GDH corner and Hanlon for the header.
Okay, so 2 years got the right answer. So obviously, John Mack, it was not Cadden that crossed it in. It was GDH. So you're right thinking, you couldn't remember if he even played in the game because he is always bloody injured. So yeah, 2 points in the way of John Tolmie and Craig Leach, and 1 point for John Mack. Month of May, John Mack, save us. Who scored the most goals in the month of May for us?
I was between two names again, but Nisbet, I'm pretty sure it was Nisbet.
John?
Well, I've got Nisbet and Josh Campbell because I can't remember when Josh Campbell started scoring loads of goals, but I'm just going to stick with Josh Campbell just in case. Change it up.
I've put Nisbet. Just on the 2 against Celtic and 1 against Hearts, kind of, I think. I don't know if maybe Ellie's close to it.
Did you see the 2 against Celtic?
Was it Ewan that scored 2 against Celtic?
Correct. It was Ellie Ewan that scored the most goals for us in the month of May.
Fuck, I had Nisbet and Ewan too, and
I thought Nisbet scored 2 against Celtic.
So, nil point for the month of May for all 3 of you.
Ewan, 2, Nisbet, and who else scored against Celtic?
Paul Hanlon.
Was it Hanlon? Oh, it was like the own goal thing near the end.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
Right, month of June, John told me how much was raised for the community foundation, which they reinvested into the local community. Closest wins, by the way, on this one.
I think I've highballed this completely. I put 317k.
Fucking hell.
I tell you what, right? Because you have completely highballed it, I'll give you the opportunity right now, before the other two give their answer, to come up with another answer.
33 grand.
Right, okay. 32 is what you're sticking with, yeah?
Aye.
Craig?
I put 70.
John?
I put 45,000.
So, John, you would have had the correct answer if I didn't allow John Tommy to reassess his answer.
Give him the point. give him
There's
the
got to
point.
be split points there, surely.
I can give you, if you are happy with a point each on that one. Craig, you're way off. It was actually 32,000. So, yeah. The football match alone raised 18, and then the rest was all raised through everyone else. See, when you said 32 there, I was like, has he got that fucking article open on his phone? I was like, there's no way he's went for like 317.
317k, and I was like, I wrote it, and I was like, that can't be right at all. That just can't be. It just stuck in my head, and I was like, I don't know why.
Right, bringing us into the 23-24 season, we're going to do July, August, and September's now. On the 5th of July, we signed Dylan Levitt. Over his 2 spells at Dundee United, how many appearances did he make? You've got 3 options here: 51, 62, or 70. So how many appearances in total did Dylan Levitt make over his 2 spells at Dundee United? 51, 62, or 70?
Is it 51, 62, did you say?
Yep, so 5-1, 6-2, 7-0. August.
Probably the Hibs question, is it? It's a Dundee United question, Shaun. But,
Well, the options are all Hibs related scores.
aye, but you could make that about any question.
Respect for the quizmaster, Craig.
Fuck the
That was
quizmaster.
the only rule.
That was my
Take a
only
point
rule.
off
At
him.
least the
Take a
tier
point.
tip, please, sir.
Couldn't give
Right.
a fuck about your rules. Your questions.
Maybe I just don't give a fuck about your answers. Right, August. In August, we played 9 games in the month of August across 3 competitions. We went on to sack Lee Johnson before the Villa away game. What I want you to answer, is who did his last victory come against?
Was this in the month of August?
Within the month of August, yep. So I'll repeat the question. There is a bonus point available if you can get the correct score. In the month of August, we played 9 competitive football matches across 3 competitions. We then sacked Lee Johnson before the last game in August, which was against Aston Villa. I want to know Lee Johnson's last victory. Not necessarily league or cup or friendly or whatever, just his last victory. Who was it against? Bonus point for the score.
So, because
Okay.
you said obviously no league, it's a trick one.
Well,
Oh, fuck.
the question reads across 3 competitions.
Yeah, but then you went, it's not necessarily the league.
It could be a double bluff, Craig. You never know.
It can't be because we never won in the league. Or did we?
Well, we played in 3 competitions, so
Oh.
right. I'll move on to September's, and then we can review those 3 sets of questions. In the month of September, we went the full month unbeaten, and we played 5 games. How many league points did we pick up in the month of September?
How many games? 5.
So we were unbeaten in the month of September as we played 5 games. How many league points did we pick up?
Fucking.
Okay. These are doing like surprisingly well so far, if I'm being honest. Right,
Did we
we'll
get
move
like
back.
is it like a closest to it?
Closest points on that one, aye. Closest points. If you can remember what the games are, then you'll be able to obviously work out how many points we got.
My memory is that bad that I can't even remember who they played.
So when did Johnson got sacked? Just before the Villa game, eh?
Yeah.
Correct.
Wait,
So the first
First
month
game
of
after that was
Aberdeen away.
Which was under Gray.
And that was
then-
in the month. That was the month of September.
So then Kelly would have been Montgomery's first game.
Yeah.
Right, we'll move back. July. Dylan Levitt. Overall appearances for Dundee United. There's 3 possible choices that you had here: 5-1, 6-2, or 7-0. John Mack, what did you go with?
62.
62. John Tommy?
I put 51.
Craig?
I put 62.
It was a total of 62. 62 appearances across 2 spells. I think there was a total of 9 goals and assists, actually, which I thought he'd done better than that. But right, August question. Lee Johnson's last victory came against who, Craig?
Wraith Rovers in the Viaplay Cup.
Okay. And what was the score?
2-1.
John Mack?
I put Luzerne 3-1.
It
Exactly
was
what I
it
put.
was Wraith. It was Wraith.
Forgot about
I
that.
couldn't remember who was played
Completely
in the cup.
forgot about
Yeah. And it was one of the worst performances I've ever seen in my life.
That was bad. Jimmy Cleary, that game.
Venti scored. I can't mind who scored the
Yeah.
other one.
Benny and
Was it
Ewan.
you?
You're on the bench.
Yeah. Yeah, so 2 points for Craig on that one. I think that takes you into the lead, if I'm honest, Craig. So you've done well there.
Shocked.
September's. How many points did we gain from, obviously, league matches? So how many league points did we pick up in the month of September? So, John Tommy, how many did you put?
9.
John Mack?
8.
Big?
8.
Correct answer is 8.
Is it?
8. Because there was a League Cup game in those 5 games
St Mirren.
against St Mirren 4-2.
Oh, fuck. Aye.
So it was Aberdeen 2-0, Kelly 2-all, St Johnstone 2-0, and
Dundee.
Dundee 0-0.
Yep.
I knew
So-
there was loads of draws in there, but I couldn't remember how many.
The Dundee game at home was pish. Like that bet
Aye.
was quality for Dundee that day.
Right, home straight now, boys. Last 3 questions of the quiz, and then we'll do a total up.
Wait, hold on. Did I
Um,
get a bonus for Wraith 2-1?
Well, John gets it as well, but aye.
But I said the score.
Yeah, but John also had the score.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I'm getting the right points here, Sean. Come
Yeah,
on. eh?
yeah, 2 points. Yep, 2 points. Don't you worry about it. Okay, in October, unfortunately, because it was a draw, it was probably one of the best highlights of the calendar year. Ellie Yuan gave us 90 seconds to remember in October as we came from 2-0 down to draw 2-2 versus Hearts. What minute and second, according to Hibs TV, did the ball hit the back of the net for the second goal?
Fuck off, Sean, man.
For
Again,
the second.
yeah, again, closest wins.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
I'm just going to go for it here.
Now, if
Hold on a minute. So, like, so you're saying Hibs TV, right?
Yeah.
I was there.
So was I.
So how am I
Was
supposed
that?
to see it on Hibs TV if I'm there?
that's just the question,
Respect
Just
the
the
quiz
question.
master.
just the question.
So did you say closest minute and second?
Yeah. Because I feel like at the aftermath of the game, it's well documented what minute the first and the second goal is scored in.
No, just that
Or
there
it-
was
or it-
87 seconds between
Aye.
the pair of them.
Aye. So if any is have it, if any of you have the same minute and second, to get the point, you will then, whoever is then closest to the first goal. So if you want to write the first goal down and the second goal for anyone that either gets it,
But would that not give you the same if you just take 87 seconds off it?
if you're correct as well.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
you should be correct, but depends how good your maths is as well.
Oh, well, mine's just shout, so I'm just going to
Okay.
go.
So just to repeat, what minute and second, according to Hibs TV, did the ball hit the back of the net? And I'm sure we've all watched the highlights back after the game as well. Hibs TV posted the highlights and it had the score and the time in the top left. And you probably would have been looking at that because you would have wanted to see the limbs afterwards. Moving to November's question. In our 2-1 victory away to Dundee, Lewis Miller was sent off. During his Hibs career, how many yellow cards has he received? His whole Hibs career. Now, I will just caveat that with, obviously, Dundee was a red.
He got 2.
He got 2. So I'm not including that as like 1 red and I'm deducting the 2 yellows. I am including those 2 yellow cards. Okay. So in the 2-1 victory away to Dundee, Lewis Miller was sent off. During his whole Hibs career, how many yellow cards has he received?
Okay, can I get that fucking name?
Closest wins.
Okay.
Is this just in the league or is this all competitions?
All comps. All
I
comps.
might do that.
I feel like that's a solid number then.
Right, last question. Our last victory of the calendar year, we beat Livy away 1-0 away from home, and Martin Boyle scored the only goal of the game. That left Martin Boyle on a calendar year of 7 goals, 2 in the league, all scored this current season. What I want you boys to answer for me is, who is our top goal scorer for the calendar year? That's 1 point. How many goals did they score in the calendar year? That's 2 points. Now, for the purposes of us potentially being close, what I want from you is to also write down who you think was second in that calendar year with how many goals.
So Boyle only got 7 for January to December.
Correct. 2 in the league. He got 2 in the league, 2 in the League Cup, and 3 European, and he was our third.
That's for Boyle. I've seen that he was injured, was he not?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
Boyle. Yeah, he was injured. He was injured.
Aye.
So I want to know who was next. But so top goal scorer for the calendar year, how many they scored, and then I also want to know who was second. And I'm only using who was second on that list with how many goals if more than one of you get the top goal scorer and the number of goals correct. All good?
Yep.
Yeah. Craig, I'm
Yeah,
going to assume you're all good because you froze for me. You might not have froze for the boys, but you
No,
froze for me.
I was typing away.
Still froze, to be fair, but okay. Right, let's go back to October's question. That's a right cunty question, I do admit. However, wanted to change it up a little bit. Right, okay, Craig, what minute and second have you got for Ellie Yuan scoring the second goal?
So 68th minute. And then I've put 39 seconds.
So is that 67 or 68?
I've just told you, Shaun, 68, and then 68th minute, 39 seconds.
Right, okay, so that would then be the 69th minute, that's fine.
Well, it's not.
So 68, 39 is what you're saying. 68 and 39.
Yeah, so it'd be the 68th minute because it doesn't cross over into the 69th minute until it hits 69.
Right, okay. Disagree, however. That's fine. 68, 39 is what you've got.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to indicate whether that is or is not the right answer, by the way. I was just trying to clarify how you'd put it, that's all. John Mack, minute and second, what you got?
I think I've got this wrong. I'm 71 and 23.
John told me?
70-42.
70-42, yeah? Okay. The correct minute was 67 and 12 seconds. So Craig gets the point.
It wasn't it? Because the 68th minute is recorded, but
Correct,
no.
because if you're as soon as you go 67:01, you're then obviously in the 67th minute. So you're right.
I think you're talking.
That's why I was seeking for clarity on what you said, Craig.
Don't know why you're going all Opta Joe on us here, like, but fair enough.
Just clarifying the minutes there, Craig. That's all. You got the point. Don't you worry, son. November. John told me.
I
How
put
many
14,
yellow
I can't even
cards?
remember what it was.
How many yellow cards has Lewis Miller received in his Hibs career?
14.
14. Something wrong with my keyboard. It keeps typing 2, and that is definitely not the right answer anyway. John Mack.
I put 7.
Craig,
I've put 8.
the correct answer is 9. So Craig grabs the point again. So he got 1 against Luzerne away, 1 against Villa away, 1 against Motherwell away, Kelly away, Rangers away, Kelly at home, 2, obviously, Dundee, and then St Johnstone.
So he never got booked in the whole of last season?
Nope.
So I only played about 3 games or something, didn't
I know. I was surprised to see that they were all this season as well.
I
Okay.
feel like every game he plays, he gets booked. That's why I just put fucking 14.
Nah, you're right. You are right, though. Okay. Last question. Our top goal scorer for the calendar year. Craig, who did you put?
To and fro between 2, but I've put Ellie Yuan as the top goal scorer.
And how many goals did you put for Ellie Yuan?
Well, I'm assuming this is across all competitions as well.
All comps.
I put 12, but I think that might be a bit high.
Just out of curiosity, because you were toying between 2, who did you have as the next person?
Nisbet,
With how many?
9.
Okay. John Mack?
I've got Ewan as well, with 11.
Craig, how many goals did you say? 12 for Ellie Yuan,
12,
right?
aye.
John Tommy?
Nisbet, I put 13.
13. Who did you have as your second choice? Just out of curiosity. Yuan, with how many?
11.
John Mack?
I had Campbell with 10.
So our top goal scorer throughout the calendar year was Ellie Yuan. Okay. So John and Craig get a point for that at least. And he ended the calendar year on 16 goals.
Fucking hell.
He's on 9 already this season, which baffled me considering how little he seems to have played recently.
I'm assuming that's 9 in the seasons for all comps again.
Yeah.
Well, he's got 4 Hearts and Motherwell alone, isn't he?
Yeah, and then you've got the game against Wraith and then the European games.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 16, and then Nisbet was next on 10.
Oh, I said 11. So.
I didn't bother counting Campbell, to be fair, so Campbell could potentially be 9 or 10, but yeah, didn't think you would get
so
that
did I
wrong.
get the bonus point for being closest, Dan?
For goal scorer, for that person, yeah, that's correct. Whereas if John Tommy had said Ellie Yuan, he would have obviously got the 2 points instead because he said 13. But yeah, correct, Craig.
Yeah, man.
Right, okay, totaling it up. Let's have a little nosy. I can't see Craig because he's still frozen for me, but I'm assuming he's sitting there cockedly with a big massive smile on his face because he's assuming that he's champion again. Taking full sweep on these quizzes here. Right, okay. Anyone want to throw any guesses at what you think he's got overall across the calendar year?
You get a bonus point.
I will give you 5. I'll give you 5 bonus points if you can correctly guess how many you got.
14.
Okay, John Mack.
12.
So you both got that wrong. Craig.
I think so. Did I get the bonus points as well if I get mine right?
Yeah.
I think I got 19.
You got 21.
Did I get 21?
21, including all bonus points as well, goal scorers, everything like that. Yep, that's correct.
21.
Craig ends the EP on champion, 21 points. John Mack on 14, John Tommy on 11.
Not like me.
No, it's not. I'm not surprised actually. I actually,
What
to be fair,
what
Craig,
can I say? I've got grown up. I had nothing in my life but Hibs.
Craig, I'm gonna kind of give you a backhanded compliment here. I was kind of annoyed when you said that you were going to come on because I kind of knew that you were going to just romp it. I thought it might have been closer in competition if Mark or Liam were here.
To be fair, like the Levitt one was a guess. Miller with the cards was a guess. Like, so I've only got them purely by guessing. I knew the Arthur Duncan one. And then again, most of them were just guesses, to be fair. The Rafe one I've pulled out my arse for somewhere, I don't know how.
Probably the way that the question was worded as well.
Yeah, as soon as you said it wasn't in the league.
Yeah.
And then I tried to think when the Luzerne game was, and that was like sandwiched in between league games. Because I think there was the first leg against Villa, not after the Wraith game.
Yeah, and it was in between the Livy game
Yeah.
because he got sacked after the Livy game.
Yeah, so it was Wraith, Villa at home, Livy at home, and then Villa away, and he got sacked after Livy. Yeah.
Right, boys. To bring the episode to a close, I want to get a couple of 2024 predictions off of yous. But before we get that, I would like a 2023 calendar year, not seasonal, calendar year rating from you all about how, out of 10, how good the 2023 season was for the Hibs. Craig, I'll come to you first. And you're more than welcome to give your rationale for a certain number out of 10. 10 being the best possible, by the way.
Yeah. I'd go 5. Closer
Yeah.
towards a 4 than a 6.
Yeah.
Too many derby defeats. Again, that might be something that gets clipped and used against us, but fuck it, we're used to it by now. Too many derby defeats. Really poor recruitment. One really poor manager. One manager who, on paper, should be doing a bit better than what he is. I think my rating would have been lower if it wasn't for the fact that we got that run in Europe. Obviously, I wasn't lucky enough to get the chance to go, but you've seen the buzz about playing Aston Villa at Easter Road. That's a buzz that you didn't really get that much. You know, seeing the quality team like that come. Obviously, we had the horrendous result in Andorra on that as well. But I'd say a 5, but probably closer to like a 4.8 than going anything above 5, just because it's like we've been constantly going downhill and then getting a wee jump and then just going back downhill again. So I'd probably
4.8. 4.8.
Go a 4.8. Aye.
John Mack?
I'd say a 6. I think I was a bit more positive about this year. The run in Europe was good. That was good. Obviously we didn't beat Hearts once this year, so that was good as well. And we sacked Lee Johnson, so I see that as positive. So 6.
That brings it up to 6.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Can I just jump in, right? And I'll tell you my highlight of the year. My highlight of the year is Liam buying a flag that says "The Sharks care about Mondays" just before Lee Johnson got sacked, and it's still sitting in the shop. So he's paid for a flag that he's still not picked up because the manager's quote he used got punted as the flag was being made. So
yeah, that's a highlight for me as well. Like,
that's a highlight.
John Tommy, what's your rating? 2023.
In terms of on the pitch and all that, 4. But I'd bring it up to maybe like a 5.5 based on like vibes. I mean, I was lucky enough to go to Luzerne away, and it was fucking one of the best days of my life. I think, as shite as it sounds, that 2-2 against Hearts was great. I was in the front row helping everyone come back into the stand. I mean the 2 3-0 losses against Hearts was a sucker punch. And
what a way to start a year and end the year, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Been ups and downs. So it's just been is the best way to describe it. And I mean, to be honest, bonus points, exactly like John said, sacking Lee Johnson, get him to sack the midget.
Yeah.
I'd probably describe the year as a stubbed toe. Like, just fuck it. So like you start off with a derby defeat, right? So it's like, you fucker, and your foot hurts for a while, and then the pain subsides, and then you end up stubbing it again. So it's like the season was the consistency of a stubbed toe.
So looking forward to 2024, which we're obviously now well in. We've got the winter break at the moment for those that are listening to this as it comes out. Going to get a couple of predictions off the boys as it stands. So I would like could be the most wildest prediction, the most obscure prediction, however you want, just a prediction of some kind that is going to happen in 2024, whether it is this season or next, as long as it's within the calendar year. Making as wildest prediction as you want. So I want a prediction of that kind, of that nature. I would also like you to predict some kind of result at some point in the future, whether it be against Hearts, Celtic, or going away to Ibrox and scudding them 3-0 or something like that, whatever. And who you think Hibs' best player will be in the calendar year of 2024. That's the three things I want from you boys. So, Craig, I'll come to you first.
So a wild prediction will be that we will not end the season with Nick Montgomery as manager.
For good or bad?
Bad.
Okay.
So that's not what I want. It's just you wanted a wild prediction, so I'll give you a wild
Yep.
prediction.
Yep.
A reasonable prediction will be we will get back to Hampden again. Whether it be this season's Scottish Cup or next season's League Cup. And we will give or take a doing off the Hearts, like a severe doing.
Are you talking like
Either
3+
way.
goals? Either way.
Either way. So we'll give them a 3+ goal doing, or they'll give us another 3+ goal doing. Seeing as it's only literally happened twice in my lifetime.
For Hibs, I know.
For Hibs, and I've seen it 3 times in one season, going the other way. 4 actually. So.
And star Hibs player.
I don't know, because we won't sign him until summer next season.
Right, okay. Fair.
It'll be whoever we bring out whoever the recruitment brings in the summer. I'm not trying to back out of that. I'm just trying to.
Well, since you're not backing out of that, what I will ask you for instead, and the other two boys can think of this as well, a player that we will sell that the Hibs support will be unhappy with, either in this window or the summer window. I mean, there's no pleasing the Hibs support at any time anyway.
Joe Newell, I think.
Okay. January or summer?
Either or. I know that's a bit of a cop out actually as well. I wouldn't even. Do you know what? Given that he's barely played, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Ellie get a move elsewhere if he doesn't consistently play.
Okay.
But
so
I think it'll be a mainstay. It'll be either a Newell or maybe Boyle.
Okay, bold. So just to summarise, wild prediction, Nick Montgomery. Craig thinks that Nick Montgomery will potentially be sacked.
Only because,
by the
right,
end of
and
the season.
let me add my rationale for that, right?
Okay.
Only because I've seen it online already.
Okay.
With fans.
We just want to caveat that with that's not what Craig wants to happen.
Yeah,
but
that's
a wild take.
Not my own thingy. You wanted a wild one, so I'll give you a wild one. And just with the reaction online to him, and I know that's not. You can't take that as a massive sample size of the Hibs support, but we know what it's like when the echo chamber starts.
Correct.
And that Montgomery won't get the chance to see it through to the summer, only because we will have possibly, like I said, if a scudding to Hearts or from Hearts.
Cool.
So I feel it could go like Maloney type vibes with Montgomery.
So wild take, Monty sacked. Realistic prediction, back at Hampden.
Sorry, back at Hampden and win something.
All right, okay.
I should have added that before. Back
Sorry.
at Hampden and win either Scottish or League Cup.
Okay. Score prediction, he thinks that we will either take a 3+ doing or beat Hearts by 3 or more goals at some point in the calendar year. Yeah. And star player will be some worldie that we sign in the summer. John Mack, the two of you actually have had plenty of time to mull over this. John Mack, I'll come to you first. Wild take first.
I don't know if it could be classed as wild. I reckon Harry McCarty is going to score 6 goals before the end of the season.
Some people would say that's a wild take, but I'm all on board for it. I think he could be suited.
No, 100%.
I'll take one just to see the.
It'll be in the cup in a few weeks against Forfar.
I'll score
Will
all
you-
6.
Do you know the only thing I'm praying for, right? The only thing I'm praying for a McCurdy goal is that it's not like a consolation.
I know.
That it's
I've been
either a
thinking
goal
that.
to go 1 up, 2 up, or equalise.
Yeah.
In a decent time of the game, and for Liam to not be there.
And you also want it to be raining, so it's the longest knee slide possible.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure that I'm clear on that I do want it to happen while Liam is not at the game and he's watching it on Hibs TV, because I know that would absolutely break his heart. Because as we've seen, Shaun, anytime Harry McCurdy was on the bench and goes up to walk past him, Liam stands up, does the bow and arrow, and gets patched every single time.
Realistic prediction before we get on to your score prediction of some kind.
Realistic. Probably quite boring. I think we'll finish 4th. Not 3rd, not 5th. I think we'll finish 4th.
Okay. Scoreline prediction of some kind, whether, like Craig said, either good or bad it could be.
I think we'll beat Rangers when we play them in a few weeks, actually. I think we'll beat them 2-0 or 3-0, but we'll beat them.
Fantastic. And star man of 2024.
Oh, I'm not. I reckon Yuan. I reckon Yuan will continue his form this season. He'll do very well next season, and he'll get a move next January.
So that kind of answers the last question then. Do you think he will then be the fans' favourite that will then be next to be sold?
Yeah, but I think it'll be next
Based
January,
on,
but we'll class it in this year.
Aye. John, to wrap us up, wild take, what you thinking?
I think we will get to the cup final of the Scottish this season and win it.
Fantastic. Do you want to make an even bolder prediction and say who it's against and score, or?
Don't do that.
Who's still in it, to be honest with you? Is it all the big teams still in it?
Everyone, they come into it in this round.
I think Celtic, and I think we'll beat them 3-2 with a fairly late goal from Harry McCurdy.
That is a wild take, and I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Might clip it and just send it to Harry McCurdy. Just give him the motivation that he needs.
That's what he needs. He needs it.
Right, not as wild, but a prediction of some kind.
I think another scudding against Aberdeen. I think we'll pump them again this season or next. At least this year. I think we'll pump them again. Maybe no 6-0, but a 4-0 or 5-0. I think that will happen.
I would love for us to be the one to then sack Barry Robson by pumping them again. I know. Tears again. Score prediction of some kind. I know I've asked you for one in the wild take there, but generally across the calendar year of 2024.
An actual realistic one, I think. I think we'll beat Celtic 3-0 at some point this season, probably to the later end of this season, where they've already won the league and they don't care. A bit like basically last season.
I'm assuming that'll then be at Easter Road then, is that what you're...
Aye. It has to be, because, I mean, Brendan Rodgers' track record at Easter Road isn't great, so...
Nah, no, you're right. Starman for Hibs in 2024?
Harry McCurdy, I think, now that he's back, and he's actually back, hopefully for good, and, I mean, this is touching on the question of who's going to go. I think if Ellie Yuan gets a move in the summer, the person you turn to is going to be Harry McCurdy, and I think next season, if not this season, he's going to kick on.
Do you think Ellie Yuan will be the next one to be sold then? Does that answer the last question?
I hope not. I mean, I sort of see it, but I sort of don't. I think he's still got a lot to prove at Hibs. That's if he gets the time and whatnot. But, I mean, I could see a Lewis Stevenson going to, like, Dunfermline or something like that. And if he doesn't retire here.
Yeah. Cool. I'll give you mine just to close us. I think that we will win the League Cup. towards the tail end of 2024, and I think we'll beat a team that is out with the so-called top 4, top 5 within the league. I think it'll be I don't want to call them a dirtier team, but not a Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, Aberdeen. I don't think it'll be one of them. I think we'll beat them in the final. My prediction will be I think we will finish 5th this season, and I'm basing that on the fact I think that we will not get as much of a backing in the January window as we'd hoped for, and I think Nick Montgomery will continue to be a little bit too stubborn. And what I mean by that is I would rather see Dylan Vente play on the last man. I'd rather want him in the box. I don't want him coming deep, and I think that is going to be what costs us. My score prediction is I think Dylan Vente in the Derby game in the split will score 2 goals for us to beat them 2-0. Ellie Yuan will be our talisman in the year of 2024, and Dylan Vente will leave in the summer, is my prediction across the board. Whether that be through scoring too many goals or whether that be through unhappiness of being played deep, I don't know, but that's what I think will happen. So, listen, boys, really, really appreciate the 3 of you jumping on. Massive thank you to both the Johns for jumping on. Much love to both of you guys for coming on. Hope you've had a good time. I feel like it is only right before we close up to find out what everyone did actually have for dinner. I feel like it would be rude not to. John, I know you were out, so do you want to let us know, for those of you that didn't check the DM that we were sent, do you want to hit us with what you've feasted on this afternoon before we close up?
Can you get the pictures up? Because I'm actually forgetting. So it was more lunch, but we'll class it as a dinner. Here we go. So I had duck wraps, like duck pancakes for starter, and it had like a salsa bit as well, which was very, very good. I had a steak for my main with chips and tomatoes, and that was very good. And then a chocolate cake for dessert, and that was shite.
I'm assuming there was chocolate cake left then if it was poor.
There was plenty of chocolate cake left, yeah.
John, Tommy, what'd you have?
Well, I'm
Or
going
going
to
to
be
have?
hopping off this. I'm going to have hot dogs because I'm fucking starving. I've been eating about one thing today. So hot dogs for dinner once I jump off this.
Craig, I'm
Hopefully
assuming
some
yours
chips.
has arrived mid-recording.
Yeah, pizza,
A kebab pizza.
pepperoni pizza,
From?
No, a kebab pizza.
Mario's.
Oh,
That's
Is that
getting
Lone
devoured.
Head? That's in Lone Head, isn't it?
No, up at the Calder's.
Oh, right.
New Year, save me and all that nonsense.
You'll be unsurprised to hear I had a pasta dish, but it was meatballs and rigatoni. So
Stunned. Absolutely
it was all right.
Stunned at that.
It was all right.
I'm not going
However,
on with that.
I'll just caveat that with it was my birthday yesterday, and I went out for the biggest of Nando's for my lunch, and then I went to the Caprice in Musselburgh for a half and half pizza and pasta, and that was absolutely tremendous. If you don't know, get to know.
Yeah.
Best pizza around. Get involved. Caprice Musselburgh.
Caprice pizza is decent. Like admittedly, I've not had one for years, but so come on, your massive Nando's. What did you have?
Yeah, that's
Well, the only reason we went is because I wanted to try the mac and cheese.
Was it good?
It was tremendous. Really, really good. Really good. I actually, side story, I went down to Birmingham for work, and I went specifically to go for a Nando's to try that, and all the Nando's in Birmingham close at 4:45 on a Monday. Don't know why. So I ended up I ended up going for a Miller and Carter and getting like a 3-courser with 2 extra sides. So I had a double chicken wrap with cheese. I had tender stem broccoli. I was going to get chips, but I'll come on to that in a second. So I had tender stem broccoli with the mac and cheese. Nando's are now doing a sharing platter of peri chips with chicken and cheese and that in it.
They're so
Had that
good.
as well.
Yeah,
That was brilliant. That was
Man.
really, really good. But yeah, sorry, enough about food. We're definitely not a food podcast, although I certainly could talk as if we do run one. Yeah, thanks to everyone who's listened so far. Hopefully you've tell you what, if anyone did manage to beat Craig in the quiz, let us know and let us know what your score was, because that is a very, very impressive score. So fair play to Craig for winning that.
I should probably just host the quizzes next time, because it's not really
Yeah,
not fair.
probably. That makes it a lot better because then he doesn't have to play.
So well done to him. Thanks to the three of you for joining. Much love. Take care. Enjoy your night, whatever you're up to, and enjoy the next 2-3 weeks without Hibs. I'm sure we will, and I'm sure we'll all be chomping at the bit by the time we get beat by Forfar in a couple of weeks.
There goes my prediction.
Right, stick in, boys. Take care. See you later.
See you later.
Yeah.
Let's get ready to rumble.